For this project, I interviewed Neil Forsyth of Sports Promotions Group. Sports Promotions Group is a company based out of Hillsborough, North Carolina, and its parent company is Sports Endeavors. Their main business partner is Soccer.com, which is the largest soccer retailer in the world. Some questions I asked Neil. I asked him what his official job title was. His job title is Marketing and Sales Manager. His question was, why did you decide to work for Sports Promotions Group? His answer consisted of, he decided to work for Sports Promotion Group because he liked all the travel that the job provided, the authority to make decisions that will positively impact the bottom line, as well as relationships with our partners and the people that he can work with. When he described a typical workday to me, he stated that he doesn't really have a typical workday since the locale varies so much. On the road at events, he makes sure that the customer experience is positive. The store is merchandised in an aesthetically pleasing way, and that he doesn't have any issues in the back of house. He wants to make sure that his partners are happy with the way the event is going. In the office, his main responsibilities are selecting product lines for future events, managing his inventory on hand that reports to his accounting department, and working on presentations for future events while maintaining positive relationships with brands that they work with, such as Nike, Adidas, and Puma. The parts of his job that he found most challenging were the time commitment. He said, for example, he worked from Halloween to the first week of December straight with no breaks, just because they had such a huge lineup of events during that time period. The department only has 3 full-time staff members, so throughout the year, their responsibilities grow depending on the tasks at hand. He said that this definitely makes him manage his time effectively and also maintains a high level of efficiency. He became interested in this field after double majoring in economics and sports administration at UNC. He said it was the perfect meshing of things that he learned in school, and so he was instantly attracted to the opportunity. It's a mix of merchandising, marketing, and sales, so he gets his hands dirty in a few different areas. What he finds most enjoyable about his job. He said he finds the people most enjoyable. He says his boss is great, and the group is always laughing in a positive state of mind. The people who run the events that he works with are awesome people that have led to some great friendships with people all over the United States. He said they also work in conjunction with the U.S. Soccer Foundation to run Passback, which is a nonprofit organization that donates gently used new soccer equipment to those who are less fortunate. He said another thing they do is if they have any balls that are lacking air, they donate those to the local animal shelters. So they really just like to make a positive impact in the environment. He said the negatives to his job are mostly about the logistics of the job and mostly the merchandising and setup of materials. He says it's sometimes hard to make sure that all the materials are at the right place on the right day in the right time because most of that is out of their hands. And he also said managing relationships with brands can be difficult. Due to the retailer-brand relationship model, it can lead to some frustrating times. His professional background before landing this job was he'd interned for this company the summer of his junior year. There were 3 full-time staff then as well, but it quickly became to 1 when one guy took a job at Nike in Portland, and then another one moved to a marketing role. So that led to his boss, the one remaining, asking him and 3 other interns from the class at UNC to stay on and work part-time while they finished their senior year. This gave him a lot more hands-on time at the business and provided an opportunity to showcase his skills. He redeveloped the entire inventory system, created a better way to purchase products for events, and showed leadership skills, which led to a full-time offer in 2016 after he graduated. The skills and talents, he said, that are essential for this field are one must be detail-oriented, sociable, inventive, responsible, and able to collaborate with others. He said a lot of the time it's on him to improve processes and take things to the next level. So all of these traits add to that effectively. He said the working atmosphere and the people he works with are very laid back, and they lead to a positive work environment where everyone feels that their opinion is valued on equal weight. However, when it's time to get down to business, he's able to make a switch to a more serious tone to ensure the task at hand is adequately completed. When I asked about the dress code, he said there isn't really a dress code, but they have to make sure the attire is appropriate. So he usually wears a t-shirt and jeans or an athletic polo since it's a sporting goods company, and almost everyone wears tennis shoes. Women typically wear jeans or leggings with a jacket or a t-shirt. He says they dress up when they have clients in, though, and they always keep a change of clothes for each brand that they work with because obviously brands are a little bit sensitive if you're meeting with them, you're wearing competitors' clothing. Next, I asked if there was flexibility as far as the work hours. He said they're very flexible with work hours in the office. His boss lives in Raleigh, so in order to beat the traffic, he works 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. most days. while he said he works 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that gives us coverage if anything happens or if anything comes up for most of the day. At events, the day usually ranges from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you have to have endurance to be ready for a longer period of time. He said the job is effective lifestyle and the aspects that it's provided him with friends. He says, well, friends that share the same interests as him and they want to hang out outside the office, as well as a lot of frequent flyer points that he can use to go to some cool destinations for free. He said he's going to Aspen next week using his Southwest airline points. So he said that would be an awesome experience. And he also said that his lifestyle changed because a lot of the stuff they do is centered around weekends. So usually his weekends are occupied as well as his week. When I asked how college experience prepared him for this job, he said it prepared him very well. The mathematical and decision-making processes that his economics courses taught him are used multiple times daily, dealing with margins and price-setting mechanisms, financial reports and analysis, as well as inventory management. The marketing, sales, and management knowledge my sports administration courses taught me help in managing staff, driving sales at events, and creating campaigns that will be most effective in bringing into their retail stores. I next asked how important grades and GPA are for obtaining a job in this field. He said they're important since they show responsibility and aptitude in the classroom, but they're not the end all. He says as long as you have like good communication skills, that's really what you need to have like a solid to make it into this industry. Next, I asked what sort of changes are occurring in this field. He said brands are trying to drive sales on their own websites and at their stores to reap more of the profits rather than wholesaling to retailers who invest mainly in the sphere. It affects who they work with and makes maintaining a positive relationship with brands extremely important. He said one of their biggest brands they partner with, Nike, is pulling back from their grassroots marketing investments, while another one they partner with, Adidas, is really making a point to focus on it. So this company is starting to operate more closely with Adidas just because of this factor. Next I asked what type of personalities fit best in sports promotions group. He said outgoing personalities fit best. A lot of our work relationships are driven, and a sense of humor is obviously necessary to make it through some of the long days. He says that doesn't mean that introverted folks won't make it in their job, but it makes it a little bit harder to succeed with like gaining relationships with clients out in the field. Next, I asked what qualifications he's looking for in new hires. So they're looking for a bit of a knowledge in the industry, varying experiences that will bring something new to the team, and an overall willingness to work hard to ensure that the work that we do is of high standard that they expect. Next, I asked if there's anything you wish you would have known before entering the industry. He said that he wishes that he had known they didn't need to buy new clothes because the amount of clothes from the brands he's gotten, he said, is enough to fit in out like a college dormitory. He said in all seriousness, he knows the industry was competitive since everyone loves sports, but he didn't realize how hard you had to fight for every dollar you make and that nothing should be taken for granted. Lastly, I asked, what's the best advice you have for students seeking a position in this field? He said, my best advice is don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, be flexible in the things you're able to do and bring to the table, and expect to work a lot, but always figure out ways to have fun while you're doing it. There's nothing guaranteed, and someone's always willing to do what you do for less, but he wouldn't trade it for any industry in the world. I truly enjoy what I do, the people that I work with, and the day-to-day responsibilities my job entails.